Hey guys, this is Sabina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I did the recording for today 2 hours ago and I uploaded it, and then I realized that I only had 20 seconds for the video. So definitely my technology issues need to be taken care of. Anyways, I'm doing this again. I hope you're enjoying this video. Do you guys follow the World Cup? I know I do, and I'm definitely shocked with the results, first round results. For example, two former World Cup winners, Boris Gelfand and Rustam Kazimjanov, have been eliminated in the first round, and other top players have been struggling to pass in the next round. So it's definitely a nerve-wracking event, and it's going to be tough probably until the last round. We won't even know who the winner is going to be. There are definitely many picks, but with the events going on now, I don't know if I can say who the winner will be. But let's watch and learn. Meanwhile, for today I chose the game between Iljiushenok Ilia and Jakovenko Dmitry. So round 1 and game 8 of their match. So a little bit surprising here as well. I mean, Jakovenko is number 15 in the world and is known to be to have been in the top player list for a really long time. And this guy Iljiushenok Ilia, I have not really heard about any strong events that he won, other than having played really well in the European Championship this year, winning 35 or 36 rating points and qualifying for the World Cup. But and he's 22 or 23 years old, so it's definitely great for his age. But you know, we know that like 12, 13-year-old kids are becoming grandmasters at a young age. So when you hear that somebody you know, is 22 and doesn't even have the grandmaster title, you feel a little bit not not impressed, let's say. But he definitely proved his strength, you know, in this tournament. So let me tell you how it went with Jakovenko in the match. So the first 2 regular games ended in a draw. Then they played 2 rapid games, 25 minutes each with increment. And the first round Iljiushenok lost. And then the second round he came back and won the game. So leading to another 2-game match. At this time a 10-minute match with increment. Both of the games ended in a draw. And now Jakovenko had to play another match against him. This time a blitz match, so 5 minutes each with some increment. I'm not 100% sure what the increment was, but he ended up winning 2-0, Jakovenko. So Iljiushenok definitely proved to be, you know, a strong character, not being afraid that he's playing number 15 in the world. So what? I still have my analysis, I still have my strength. I'm going to play well, and anything is possible in this tournament, because, you know, you just have 2 games to prove yourself, and if you manage to hold on and not lose, then, you know, you're basically playing equal to equal with some top players. So great for him. However, unfortunately, he ended up going home after this loss. But let us see it and learn from this game as much as we can, and hopefully you guys enjoy this game. Alrighty, so Jakovenko had black in this game, so this was round 8, so the round 7 he won. And here he went for the Slav with a6. Do you guys know what the idea here after a6 is? Well, if you don't know, I have already illustrated it for you. Is to play b5. So and in the Slav, the black's idea is to keep this bishop from c8 opened. We have seen in our my 2 previous videos games where black had played e6, playing some kind of Queen's Gambit variation on Meran. But when you're playing e6 with black, this bishop has some troubles developing. So, you know, in the Slav, you normally try to protect, let's say, your bishop. and you know, make sure you get it out somewhere active before you play e6. And here white has many possibilities. c5 is one of them, e3 is another one, bishop f4 is another possibility here, or a4, which is the game that Iljiushenok played. This is not super popular, but it's definitely a way to stop black from playing b5. You are, however, weakening the b4 square, so for people who are positional players, maybe this is not the best system to be played as white. And now black plays e6. Okay, I know I just said you want to be careful with this bishop, and now you're playing e6. Well, yes, against this a4 line, e6 is the best continuation, because you want to make sure your center remains strong there, and you're going to play against the b4 square now. I mean, against the fact that the b4 square has been given it to you, you're going to utilize it to your advantage, and at the same time, you're going to try to play some c5 at some point. At least, that's one of the ideas for black. Bishop g5. Bishop e7 was played by Jakovenko. Actually, knight b d7 is the main line, you know, I mean, just defending there, and then after e3, queen a5, and if knight d2, you know, not to allow bishop b4, now bishop b4. And there's been a game between Moisenko-Lasnichka in 2012 in San Sebastian. You might want to check that game out if you're interested in this, to play this line with either colors. But anyways, bishop e7 was played in the game. You know, it's another just natural development move. e3. And now Jakovenko played a5. Good. This move, you know, prepares knight a6 b4. Castle, of course, was another possibility, but you know, I was checking this with my computer, and it seems that if black doesn't play a5, maybe white is thinking to play a5 himself and just blockade the queen side and play basically against this c8 bishop, which doesn't have any exits. So that's one of the reasons black might consider playing a5 here. c5 idea is also possible, but okay, he preferred to play kind of safe. You know, he won the first game, so what happened to him in the round, in basically the second match that they played in the rapid games, actually he won the first round, and second round he played some crazy line where he got attacked and he ended up losing, so probably he decided just psychologically, you know, not to get under any kind of pressure, just play some solid chess. Castle, knight a6, this was the idea. And here, the first move that I did not like by Iljiushenok, maybe he collapsed under pressure, knowing that he had to play for a win, but he took here. This move in general is not that great, you know, because, I mean, you're opening up this bishop in c8, who's having really big trouble developing. And because this bishop cannot develop, this rook has trouble here in a8. So why capture, you know? Just why not rook c1? Because black is threatening knight b4, and against knight b4 we want to put the bishop in b1, not give it away. And then if b6, okay, we can play b3. Because, for example, if here black takes, okay, like I'm going to capture this pawn back anytime. I don't need to even hurry, but I have knight a2 ideas. Besides, when black captures here, it allows e4, which I can play. And I'm going to have some e5 attack at some point, opening up that bishop. The queen comes on the diagonal eventually, and has big compensation for the pawn. And besides, at some point I'm going to get it back. So, but if b6 here, I can just play b3 to make sure I capture back with the pawn. And if bishop a6, for example, this is a game that was played, and knight a2, and it's quite decent for white. He has nothing to worry about. Okay, maybe he doesn't play for win, but it's just equalish. Or instead of that, maybe knight e5. Because, you know, if this knight doesn't come towards d7 to control e5, then me as white, I can come to e5. And this knight here is very strong because I'm putting pressure in c6, so I'm not allowing you to play b6 and develop your bishop. So this is definitely a good idea to remember for white. But okay, he took in d5, ed of course, and now knight e5. But now this bishop is open, so it doesn't really do very much besides that it's a good piece on e5, but okay. Knight b4, and here bishop b1. Again, it's, you know, it's a blitz, I understand, but come on, you leave your rook in a1. If you want to give that bishop, just, if you don't want to give that bishop, just play rook c1 first, no? I mean, just, okay, and here a very good move by black. We're looking in this position, okay? It looks like white has, okay, besides that rook in a1, that is terribly placed for the moment, it looks like white has a really nice knight here in e5. That's holding on the position. It's putting some pressure towards f7. It's going to get ready maybe to play some f4 stuff. So we really don't want that knight. And besides, with black, we don't have that much space. And this bishop, okay, we can, it's opened, right? But we cannot put it in f5 because, okay, it's going to get captured. In g4, again, we cannot. So why not get rid of this knight? How do we get rid of it? Well, very simple, knight d7. This is a very good move that shows understanding of the position. So now we want to trade the knights and the bishops, if possible. But of course, white does not want to trade bishop, so he went bishop, because black doesn't have space. That's why. So white went bishop f4, and now trade. And it looks like white has some kind of ideas here to attack, right? So black needs to take some measures against it. So he went for g6, which is okay in this position, because although it looks like he weakened the black squares around the king, now bishop f6 is coming, and I'll be well defended. If you want to trade, okay, my queen is coming. If not, I can just play bishop g7, and my king is totally safe. Your bishop in b1 is going to be closed there, and you won't be able to do anything for a while with my knight in b4. So you need to think of a way to trade it with knight a2 to get your bishop out. But still, your bishop won't be doing it much on the diagonal. So this was definitely a good choice by black. And here, you see, black knew what to do to exchange white's strong knight in e5. However, here, white didn't make the best decision. He played e4. He's just creating a weakness for him in d4, an isolated pawn. This knight in b4 is a strong knight, so how can we trade it or make it go away? Just knight a2. Okay, sometimes it's okay to go back to trade some of your opponent's strong pieces. And now if capturing a2, excuse me, rook takes a2, and I can push b3, eventually bring my rook, you know, on the c file. It's alright. If these bishops are going to be traded, then I have b4 break and creating some weakness and some play for me on the queen side, you know. But e4 is just weakening of the position. Even if you want to win, you know, you don't need to do it like this, like crazy. Just play solid, you know, improve the position of your pieces. Bishop e6 now takes. Of course, we take with the knight, and I don't know why my squares are have become red here, but basically I can have now bishop f6 ideas, and okay, but for example, you know, like even if it looks that these squares are around the king are weak, there's nothing for white to do, you know. I mean, knight e4 is the move that was played in this position, or it was a blunder. Probably bishop a2 was alright. Why is knight a4 a blunder? Take a minute to realize it. Well, because of a typical idea. f6, where do you move the bishop? g3 is the only square. f5. Okay, knight has to go away. I mean, takes because the bishop was attacked. f4. Adios. Unfortunately, that bishop remained trapped in g3. Rook a3. Okay, two more moves here, and after queen f6, white resigned. This is a very typical idea, you know, when you've got two pieces on the e file or any other file, and the bishop that's about to be trapped, be always careful for this trap. I fell into it a couple of times in my life, so check out for this f6, f5, f4 idea. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more tomorrow.